Harry, what do you want to do tomorrow?
Tomorrow we can learn, is the morning better for everybody or is the evening better for everybody? Whatever.
I think the morning.
Okay, so let's do it at 9 o'clock. Right, that way, that gives everybody time to get home from shul.
Mario,
Yeah.
send me the recording.
Oh, you're not gonna be in?
No. Ernie knows. Ernie just is in quarantine, so you know.
Me too. I'll be on the plane.
We have to, there is another issue. When it rains,
Okay, so we'll do it at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Okay.
Okay.
5 o'clock. Hold on a second, guys.
No, 9 o'clock. We'll send you a tape, Walter.
9 o'clock tomorrow morning. Yeah, send me a tape. Okay,
We'll send you a tape.
it's good. No problem.
So we're on Chaf Amud Aleph. Lo'ilam Rabbi Yehuda v'afilu chatchila. We had a debate who is the Mishnah like. That Rabbi Yehuda holds lechatchila, even if you don't hear it, it's okay. Like kasha hadidei ad Rabbi. It depends. One is his shita, one is his Rebbe's shita. The Tanya Rabbi Yehuda Oimim Mishum Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah. Hakoyre et Shema tzarich shiyash mila azno. You have to hear the words when you say Shema, so you can't be someone who can't hear. Shneimar Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. Hashmei laznecha ma she'atem motzim mipicha. But Meir Oimer Asher Chi Mitzvah Chayom Olavecha. You don't need to hear anything. Achar kavanas halev hein ein advarim. We care what's in your heart. Oh, ashta da asis lach efilu tem Rabbi Yehuda Rabbi Sfirelei. That maybe Rabbi Yehuda holds like his Rebbe. V'hadatan Yehuda bred Rabbi Shimon ben Pazi Rabbi Meiri. That you don't need to hear anything at all. That the whole debate in our Mishnah, do you have to hear? Do you not have to hear? It has to do with Rabbi Meir. But Meir holds that you don't have to hear. It has to do with kavanah. The Mishnah said Rabbi Yehuda machshir b'katan, that a cotton can read the Megillah. The Tanya, on Rabbi Yehuda cotton ayisi ukrisi l'malim Rav Tarfon came belod. I was a cotton. I read the Megillah in front of Rav Tarfon. They didn't say a word to me. On Rulay Mavin Raiman cotton. You can't bring a proof from a cotton. You yourself who say you're a cotton, therefore you can't give testimony. We can't take testimony from a child. Tanya on Rabbi cotton ayisi ukrisi l'malim Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi also says the same thing. He read it in front of Rabbi Yehuda. Amru lo ein mevin raiman atot min amatir. Rabbi Yehuda's matir are cotton. You can't bring me a proof that you did it in front of Rabbi Yehuda. V'leim rulein mevin raiman cotton. Why didn't they give him the same response that the other guy got, which was you can't bring a raya when you were a cotton. You were a cotton. We can't listen to ages from that. More answers. Chad avod kam rulei gave him two answers. Chad the cotton ayisa. Even if you were an adult, by saying you laid it in front of Rabbi Yehuda and he didn't say anything to you, well, he didn't say anything to you because he's a matir. He allows a cotton. That's no raya. Mishnah. Ein kornas Megillah in the daytime. Excuse me. Ein kornas Megillah, we're going to say, only until Netzach Hama. Only once Netzach Hama occurs. V'lo malin, you don't do milah. V'lo toivlin, you don't go into the mikvah. V'lo mazin, you don't do hazah by poraduma. V'chein shomeres yom kineged yom. A woman in her 11 days, you have 7 days of nidus followed by 11 days of zivus. If during her 11 days of zivus she sees blood one day, she has to just, the next day she waits. And if she's tahor, she can go to the mikveh in the daytime. And then she's permitted to her husband that night. In all these cases, lo tidbolat shetnei sachama. The kulan sha'asu mishal amos hashachar kosher. Now, if all of these things were done by alos hashachar, b'di'evet it's kosher. L'chatchila you shouldn't do it, but b'di'evet it's kosher. So the Gemara wants to know minolon. How do we know that these things have to be done in the daytime? So what about Megillah? Bayom in, balayla lo. It says bayomim. Lei matevet yufted Rabbi Shua ben Levi, Dom Rabbi Shua ben Levi, Chayav Adam Likros on Megillah balayla v'shnos bayom. Rabbi Shua ben Levi says you have to read it at night and repeat it in the daytime. So the Gemara says, Ki ktoni adiyom. The Mishnah is only referring to the Megillah of the daytime. That doesn't say that you're supposed to read it at night. You're supposed to read it at night as well. But this Mishnah is only dealing with the daytime reading the Megillah has to be by Netzacham. The lo malin. Why does Mila have to be done in the daytime? Dechsiv uvayom hashmini yimo. That says v'lo tovlin v'lo mazin. By Tvila and Hazah have to be done in the daytime. Dechsiv v'hizah hatahor ala tamei bayom hashvi v'iskish Tvila lazoya. And going to the mikvah is the same as the Hazah. V'chein shomer yom kineged yom lo titbol ad shetanei sachama. She also has to go to the mikvah once there's Neit Sachama. Why should it be any different? You just told me that if you need Tvila, you do it in the daytime. Itztrich, we need it. The first Re'iyah of a Zav, Re'iyah Rishon Shel Zav Iskish L'Bal Keri, D'chsiv Zos Toras HaZav Asher Tetzei Min Shel Lazera, Ma Bal Keri Tova B'Yom Hainami Litval B'Yomei. So just like a Balkari is Toivel B'Yom, but I would think by a Shomer Yom Kineged Yom V'Had B'Yamam Lo Matzi Tavla, she wouldn't be able to go in the day. D'chsiv Kol Yemei Zovak K'Mishkav Nidasa Yelah. B'Leila Mias Levid Mixes Shimer V'Tidbol. Perhaps she has to wait until the nighttime, or maybe she doesn't have to wait until another day, and she can go just check herself at night, that night, and she could go to the Tvil and be permitted right away. Kamash Balon, even the boy sphere, since she has to count one day, counting has to be a mama. It has to be at least some part of the count in the daytime. Therefore, let's say she saw bleeding Monday at 10 in the morning. So she waits until nightfall. She doesn't see any bleeding, fine. She has to count Tuesday as a clean day. So, and then she goes to the mikvah. As long as she doesn't bleed again, she'd be permitted Tuesday night. That's Minat Torah. We, of course, don't have these dinim because we hold that even one spot of blood, we treat our women as Zava Gedola, where they need Zayin Nikiyim. But then the Mishnah said, the Kulon Shanasu Misholam Shachar kosher. B'di'evet, if all these things were done after a Losa Shachar, b'di'evet, they're okay. Menanimili, Amar Ravad, Amar Kra, Vayikra Elokim La'or Yom. Lemeir Uva Kra Yom. That means Alosa Shachar, it's getting lighter and lighter. It's called Yom. Elameyatav Lachoshech Kara Laila, maybe V'lamachshech Uva Kara Laila, maybe from the afternoon on it should be called Laila. So the Gemara says, "Akaimelan that says a kachavim lav lailahu." We have a Masorah that by tzezek until tzezek kachavim it's not laila. El amrav zer mehacha. V'anachnu osim b'mlacha. There's a pasuk in Nehemiah. V'chetze machzikim baramachim alos hashachar at tzezek kachavim. That these people are watching with spears from alos hashachar to tzezek kachavim. The Omer vayalanu alayla lemishmar. My Omer. Maybe Amar Shachar is not day. And as the afternoon comes, it's already night. And they are starting their work in the Chemah before the day, and they're continuing it even after night. No, Toshma, no. Alos HaShachar is already called Hayom, and the Malacha is during the day. From this pasuk, we learn that if these things are done after Alos HaShachar, Meikar Adin, they're okay. Now that we began to deal with this issue of what mitzvahs do we do at night, what mitzvahs do we do in the day, that's the subject of this next Mishnah. Kol Hayom, Kosher L'Kriyas HaMegillah. The whole day is kosher. even though you have a principle of Zrizim, Magdim, Lemitzvah, says Rashi, T'chsiv Hashkem Avram Baboker, it's still kosher. If you read the Megillah 2 in the afternoon, it's still a kosher reading. And on those days that you have to say Hallel, Kriyas Hallel, Ulut Kiyah Shoifer, Ulut Tilas Lulav, Ulut Tfilas Amusafim, that's the Tfilah and the Velamusafim, the Korban itself. Ula Vidu Yaparim, Par Helam Davar Shel Tzibur, and Par Kon Mashiach, where either the Sanhedrin has to do a Korban because they made an improper ruling regarding something that more than 50% of Klal Yisrael did something where they have to bring a chatas, like they paskin something as chaylev, when it's really, they paskin that something was kosher, but really chaylev. So that kind of par helam davar, that vidu can be done in the daytime. Levidu meiser, when a person brought his bikurim, and they had to say a vidu meiser, that had to be done in the daytime. Levidu Yom Kippurim, Vidu and Yom Kippur, that the Kohen Gadol did, had to be in the daytime. Smicha and Korbanis had to be on the daytime. Shchita of Korbanis had to be in the daytime. Tenufa waving, those Korbanis that needed waving had to be done in the daytime. Lahagasha mincha that has to be brought close to the Mizbeach has to be done in the daytime. Lekmitza of a mincha has to be done in the daytime. Ulahaktara, throwing the kmitza on the Mizbeach has to be done in the daytime. The Malika, killing the bird with your fingernail from the back of the neck, it's Malika, has to be in the daytime. Kabbalah, being makabel, the blood of a shechted animal has to be in the daytime. Ulahazoya, sprinkling blood on the mizbeach after you makabel it by shchita. Lashkaya soita, giving a sota woman to drink. Ularifa sa'egla, doing egla sarufa. Ulatarsa mitzvah, purifying the mitzvah. All of these have to be done in the daytime. At night was the mitzvah of Ktsir Sa'omer. And Lahekter Chalavim Vevorim. After you shechted any korban, you could burn the fats and the limbs at night. Ze'aklal. Davar shemitzvah bayom, kosher kol hayom. Davar shemitzvah balayla, kosher kol halayla. So the Gemara was going to bring a source for all of the dinim we learned. That's the din that Megillah has to be read in the daytime. From when the sun comes out in the east until it sets. It's one of the psukim in Hallel. Rabbi Yossi Omer from Zeh Hayom Asa Hashem. Because the emphasis on the word Hayom. Ulantila Sulov D'chsiv L'kachtem Lachem Bayom HaRishon. Ulatkia Shoifar D'chsiv Yom Troya Lachem. Ulamusafim D'chsiv Dvar Yom Biyomo. Ulatfilas HaMusafim Kemusafim Shavi Rabbanon. The Rabbanon made it like the Korban. Ulavidu Parim D'Yoliv Kapar Miyom HaKippurim. The Tanya Gabi Yom HaKippurim V'chiper Ba'adov Yad Beso. V'chapar Dvar Makosim Adover V'chapar Biyomomahu. D'chsiv Bayom Hazeh Chapar Alechem. So it says Bayom Hazeh. Ulevidu Meiser D'chsiv Amartem V'nei Hashem Lokecha B'yartei HaKodesh Min HaBayis. V'somech Le Hayom Hazeh Hashem Lokecha Mitzavcha. L'smich of the Shchita D'chsiv V'somach V'shachat U'ksiv Ba B'shchita B'yom Zivchachem. Uletnufa D'chsiv B'yom Anivchem Esa Omer. Ula Hagasha Di Hiskish L'tnufa. Hagasha's, there's a hekesh to tnufa, to waving. D'chsiv V'lakach HaKohen Miyad HaYishas Min Chas HaKnos V'heinif V'hikri. So Hakrava is compared to Hanafa. V'lam likav l'kmitza l'aktar la'zoya d'chsiv b'yom tzavosos b'nei Israel, which takes care of all of these. Ulashkaya sota asya Torah. Ksiv achav asala kohenes kol Torah zos. By sota. Uksiv asabal piyat Torah sherich al v'mishpat. That has to do with Sanhedrin. Sanhedrin only operates in the daytime. So we have a hekesh. The sota also, therefore, has to only be done in the daytime. Okay. Everybody. Have a good